Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bowlers Union podcast. Keith and I here as usual, and we're pretty buzzing. We've launched our Patreon this week, so more podcasts for you to look forward to than ever. But if you're not a member of our Patreon, don't worry, we've still got you covered. We will be doing 3 episodes once a week, as we always have, discussing a wide variety of topics related to cricket and bowling, including today's episode, which is a bowler analysis, and we are going to be looking at New Zealand. Well, I suppose you'd call him a bit of a legend now, wouldn't you, at this point? Matt Henry, what an amazing bowler. Doesn't get enough flowers, in my opinion. But before we get into it, Keith, how are you doing? It's been a pretty good day for you, I think.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm relieved it's now nearly over. Obviously, the news has come out about my anti-doping issue, which happened last year. Which was a fucking shit show, to be honest with you, with the whole thing, the whole procedure of it, everything. But this is not the place to go on about that, Chris. And, you almost look at it and go, well, that's 2 of us done now, which is pretty mental. But I'm sure we're going to go into that on a Patreon and talk about all the insights as to what happened, what we went through, and the absolute force of what it is. But that's not the time and place. This is the place where we're going to be talking more about our analysis on certain bowlers. And Matt Henry is an amazing bowler, and I cannot wait to get into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. The good thing about us talking about Matt Henry is we've played against him on more than one occasion because he's done a decent few stints in county cricket. He's played for Kent, Derbyshire. He's down to play for Somerset, I believe, this year, although I think that might be being delayed. But obviously I think we did New Zealand's all-time bowling attack, didn't we, the other day? And he's in the top 10, I think, now in terms of leading wicket takers for New Zealand. This bloke, he's just a brilliant bowler, but I think because of the way he operates, it doesn't really get talked about as much as it should.
No, I'd agree. He goes unnoticed. A bit of the he's like a bit of a silent assassin. He just goes about his business, and he's very good at what he does. And it's a shame he does deserve a bit more appreciation for what he's done. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, I do. Just for a little bit of background, then. So, and this is staggering to me. So he's actually only played 30 Test matches, which is so low. It goes to show New Zealand don't play enough Test cricket, really. But 30 Test matches, 120 wickets, at 29 with an economy of 3.18. In the ODI space, he's got 165 wickets in 91 games, an average of 24, going at 5 and over. Again, that's terrific in the modern 50 over format. And international T20s, he averages 23, economy rate of 8.29. And he's basically taken a wicket a game, only 21 games, but 27 wickets. So his record is so consistent across every level. I guess that's him, isn't it? But you had a stat. What did you say he was? The quickest bowler to something?
Well, he's the second fastest New Zealand bowler to reach 150 wickets in 83 innings, which is great effort. Again,
the thing is, I don't even think of that as his best format. I think of him as really pure, solid red ball bowler, but that clearly, statistically, is his best format. Did he play? I can't remember now. Did he play in the final at Lord's against England? I'm trying to think if he did or not.
I remember.
Bolt. I know Bolt played, didn't he? Because I can't remember. He might have played over Southey, I think, Henry. We probably should know that. I remember watching the game. When did he make his debut? Let me find this out very quickly. So, Test match debut in 2015 in England. So he's been around for a fair while. 2014 he made his white ball debuts, and then 2015 his Test debut. So 10 years really he's been knocking around. And actually, that puts it into perspective. New Zealand, he's only played 30 games for New Zealand since his debut. I can't get my head around that at all.
It's a shame that it is that, because when you've got players like Henry and Bolt and Southey, you'd like them to be playing more games over that amount of time, really. I know he's not always played, he's not been selected every game, but you still like to think in a 10-year stint, he'd have played more than 30 games. But that comes down to how much Test cricket they actually play.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know there must be an absolute nightmare for like ICC or whatever, trying to juggle all these future tours and all this sort of stuff. But I don't know if it's money issues or what. But even the series just gone that England played out there, it's always good when you go to New Zealand. It does a bit, doesn't it, up front with a new ball, and then the wickets get pretty flat. It's just, yeah, it's a good watch. Anyway, let's focus on the big man's technique. I say the big man. This, ironically, he's not actually that big of a guy, is he? What is he? 6'2", something like that? 6'1", 6'2"?
I don't think he's that, mate.
Yeah, he's not like especially huge or anything like that. I don't mean that I mean that in a really nice way. That he just sits within a normal range for a normal bowler, which is around the 6 foot mark. But he's not got any frightening height or anything like that.
No.
So, want to talk run-ups to start with?
Run-up is athletic in his own way. Pretty quick. I think he's on the higher end of his running speed, looks like. Angle-wise, it looks like he's got... Is he reasonably straight?
Yeah, he is.
Really.
He's fairly straight, yeah.
Slight jumping at times, but what I really find impressive is he's got this loose kind of bound, delay in his gather, and then he just unravels, and it is at you quicker than what you realise. He's up there as one of my favourite people to watch bowl.
Yeah, exactly that. Run up is definitely, if there's slow, medium, and fast, it's in between medium and fast. It's not like sprinting, is it? It's smooth, it's quick, it's efficient. But you're right, in terms of the way it looks when you just watch it on the telly, his bound is pretty pure. The timing's involved because it doesn't look like it takes that much out of him.
No,
if that makes sense. But obviously, the output is consistently between 130 kmph, kph, and I guess 140. I mean, he's not rapid, is he? But as you said, he's on you, and it's quicker than you think.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how he is as a bowler. I think you could face him anywhere and never feel comfortable. You know, it's going to be a real fight, scrap, because he just doesn't stop. He's always. It feels like, I've written this down, but it feels like his first ball with effort and the outcome is the same as the last ball of the day for it. There's no difference for me. Every ball's the same. His input, his effort, the outcome is all just from start to finish the exact same. It's on you, and it's relentless.
No, I completely agree. Do you reckon that's something that he's worked on, or do you think he's a natural? And can you work on it? What do you reckon?
I'd say it's pretty natural. Personally, I think it's quite hard for a lot of people to build up that kind of makeup to be something they're not. Don't run. There's people who cross the pitch, the white line, and that white line fever just changes them. But that can either show a sign of one or two things. Either they've got that switch, or they're a bit of a prick deep down. I'll try and play the nice guy until they get on the pitch. But it seems like he's just built into him. And not that he's a horrible person. It's just right, game time, ball in my hand, I'm off. And I'm a bit like, probably say Dale Steyn, how he bowls. It's kind of, as soon as he gets a ball in his hand, he's just bowling mode and he's into the game.
I don't think he's an angry bowler though, is he? It's more like he's a robot. Yes. An efficiently programmed bowling robot that I've tried to time his steps. But obviously, when you watch YouTube videos and things like that, you don't always get all the run up. You tend to get half of it. There's a couple of clips. His run up is only about 10 running strides. Yeah. I don't know what it is in meters and all of that, but there's not many meaningful strides in there. It's definitely on the short, efficient side. But yeah, it's just like when he's on and he knows the job he's got to do, he just does it, and he does it for a long time as well, doesn't he? As we both found out down in that game, which we'll talk about a bit later at Tunbridge Wells. We talked about his natural sort of athleticism. I guess that puts him in the category of just, is he a rhythm bowler? Or would you say he's not? Like, how would you?
I wouldn't. I'd see him as just an absolute horse.
Do you? Because that's interesting.
I think, don't get me wrong, I think, look, we both know, I think a lot of bowlers know, is you don't always bowl with rhythm. It's not possible. But I feel like he has found a way of just like being so athletic and powerful in each stride he takes. It looks as though he's always in rhythm. But I reckon there's times when he's just like, I'm just that mentality, that horse mentality. I'm running in and I'm letting it go and I'm competing.
Yeah, totally get where you're coming from. So would you say Steyn is a rhythm bowler? Would you put him right at the top end of a rhythm bowler or not?
For me, yes. Just because he's so smooth.
Yeah. So Henry's more in the middle somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's not? Flintoff? Would you say Flintoff's a hoss? What are we saying? Flintoff, Sean Tate, are they hosses at the far end of the hoss?
Yeah. Someone like a Tate, massive, just a big horse, basically, just hoying it down there.
Fair enough. So you've got this guy splitting the difference.
Yeah.
Mid crease to tight on the crease, Henry. That's fair, isn't it, for what he's trying to do?
I'd say so. I'd say yeah, and always attacking the stumps, isn't he? But and I don't know. Maybe this is because it's a lot of Test cricket. We've noticed obviously how he holds a seam. He comes out slightly wobbled, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if when he's over here, when he's played county cricket, does he look to swing it a little bit more, do you think? Or do you think he just remains the same? I personally feel like he remains the same. He gets the odd one to shape a little bit, but he's not always trying to hoop it. He still bowls the way he bowls.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he started off probably swinging it more, and he's probably gone to more and more wobble over the years.
Well, this would be quite good to look at, obviously, watching him bowl to a right-hander here, right?
Yeah, we've got a bit of footage here, which if you're watching on YouTube, you can obviously see. And it's just Matt Henry from this winter bowling at Joe Root in the first test. I don't know where they were playing, maybe the Basin Reserve or something like that. And he's a funny operator because I feel like he bowls with a small wobble, maybe.
Yeah, but
some go and some just swing on you.
Yeah. Oh, this would be a nice little slow-mo. I mean, that started off as a wobble and it's just straightened the seam a little bit, hasn't it? And then shaped. I love him as a bowler, man. I think he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Although that clip before doesn't help out.
No, it really doesn't. But again, I think the point is, no matter what with him, he just carries on. I think he's got the heart and the the attitude thing of fast bowler needs just down to a T, hasn't he? He just cracks on, gets on with it. That actually looking at that one that we've just seen that goes down leg, that was a executed wobble, didn't go at all, and it was a bit straight. But cool, I've not put the best video on though here, have we? But the point being, what would you say his stock ball actually is?
I think it's a wobble, but I think it just they're one shaped, mate. To be honest with you, that's my from facing him as well, which I know we're going to talk about. That's what I noticed about him. It was kind of looking to swing, but there was going to be more movement off the wicket. I felt when I faced him. Yeah,
and like basically his run-up's efficient, his bounds efficient. There's just energy on the seam, on the ball, into length. It's simple, isn't it? Wobble seam, stop ball, albeit I don't think it's like how can I put it? A dirty wobble? Is that an okay phrase? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a small one, and actually quite a lot of time they still kind of swing on you.
Be interesting if that's deliberate, as in it being that small, or if he's just kind of happy with it being like that and just cracked on.
Well, I wonder. I know we don't bowl a lot, obviously, with a kookaburra because we're UK based, so we only have the few games a year.
Although that is rising every year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I do think the way to bowl a wobble with a kookaburra is with a smaller one. Just the way the seam is, I don't think it's like a duke where you can kind of be even more messy with it. I think you've got to get a nice little one on, and he seems to have it down to a T. But I think that's to both left and right that he goes wobble, and then obviously, basically, he'll swing back the odd one at a lefty.
Yeah.
And he'll swing away the odd one to a right-hander just to make sure that they, keep playing and stuff. It's really simple and pretty cool. I don't know loads about his other skills in terms of white ball because I don't think I've played against him white ball. I don't know if you have.
No, I haven't. No, I think he does utilise a cutter a little bit.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen loads of different variations. I feel like he's the type of person that, a bit like he's what he comes across as a person is just kind of like not really loads of different skills, just going to get it down there, and he's probably got like a cutter and probably uses his bouncer and a Yorker. That's what I feel he's the type of bowler.
Yeah, yeah. I'm part of me's wondering if I've seen him bowl a back of the hand slower ball or not.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? I wonder if I have.
I think you're right. Yes, yeah, you are right.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Which, if he's got that would be really gnarly because because you just the energy off the surface that he creates, just in terms of like pace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be an absolute killer delivery. So, should we talk about the games we've played against him?
Yes, mate. Yeah. Well, I think I've played him twice, but only had to face him once.
Right.
And the time I faced him, there's only been a few bowlers where they've bowled this kind of spell, where they look as though they're about to finish, but then they just drag out one more over and they finish well. Because they go, what the captain's like, do you want one more? Yeah, I'll have one more. And then they just keep going, but there's no bad balls. It's still got the same energy on it. And then all of a sudden there's a bit of a second wind. And then he picks up a wicket and he just keeps going. And that was us at Tunbridge Wells that time where he literally won them the game with that spell. He was relentless. He was relentless, Chris.
I'm going to see.
Great pace. Just didn't stop. Didn't stop steaming in.
I'm going to see if I can find a scorecard from, I think that was 2018, wasn't it? It was our last year.
Yeah.
It was our last year at Warwickshire, because I remember. I think it was a nice week. We went to a couple of nice restaurants. I don't know. Basically, it was a whole nice vibe down there. So the game itself, it was quite green, wasn't it? First innings.
Yeah.
And where am I looking here? I've got the scorecard, which is handy. So first innings, Kent all out 197.
How many did Barker get that innings? How many wickets did Barker get there?
Yeah, I was just going to say you got a fifer, so nicely done. You picked up a nice fifer. Then Warwickshire batted, and we were rock and rolled. And this is all on day one, I believe. I think, right? Or was this?
Say that again. You went a bit in and out there.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. So we bowled Kent out for 197 in 54 overs.
Yeah.
They then bowled Warwickshire out for 125 in 36 overs. So this is all on day one. And Matt Henry got 4 for 54 in the first innings, including Ian Bell, obviously, who's a prize scalp for Warwickshire at the time. Then Kent's second innings, this is not so pretty. Kent went and got 446 for 8 declared, which spelled trouble. But in Warwickshire's final innings of the game, we required 519, and we were bowled out for 445, so 50 odd short or whatever. But there was a second wicket stand of around 260. Sibley got 100, Bell 172. But from memory, I feel like I'm looking at Henry's figures. They're not even insane. Down here, it's 2 for 100. 2 for 128. Right, he got, which that's okay. That's not anything special at all. But it was off 38 overs. So basically, they bowled 140 overs in that innings. He bowled 38 of them. No one else got over 28, which was a guy called Harry Podmore. He bowled more than both the spinners, all the Kent spinners combined. And he kept bowling and bowling and bowling. And there you go. He got Tim Ambrose out at a point, I think, that was quite important. But
he ran
you were padded up, weren't you, I think?
He ran in all day, mate. He was relentless.
It's, again, is it just he's got himself insanely fit, or is it a nice balance of, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Is it just heart, or is he super efficient?
I think there's a lot of heart. I think he's a very strong boy. Basically.
Fair enough. The other time we did actually play them that same year at Edgbaston at the end of the season, and it was a slow, flat one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I can remember him. I don't want to say he was angry or annoyed, but you could sense he was slightly more frustrated because basically he bowled really well, but without much going on. From memory, that will be probably a trickier scorecard to find at this point. But he
that's the game I bowled at Denley, swung back, nicked the top of off. Do you remember the bell came off and sat on top of off stump?
No, I can't remember that.
Remember that?
No, that sounds cool.
I've got it on my Instagram saved. I'll send it you. But yeah, the bell was sat outside the actual ridge, like just ready to drop off, and it wouldn't move.
That's insane. I'll tell you what I do remember about that game was Jeetan Patel, who we obviously had on the podcast, fiery character, him and Billings going at one another for quite a big period of time. I can remember Billings being, "It's always you, Jeets, it's always you." And Jeets just being like, "Ah." Just loving dishing it out. But yeah, that was a game. Warwickshire won that one because obviously that was our final game for the club.
Yeah. That was the secure first, wasn't it?
Yeah. I do have the scorecard for this one. A reason I want to find out what the scorecard here is because I do feel like he bowled pretty well again and toiled. You and I both picked up 3-fers in that one, which is always nice, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Matt Henry. Okay, to be fair, Warwickshire 380. Oh, wow. 176 opening partnership between Will Rhodes and Dom Sibley. So Matt Henry didn't actually have his best game here, to be fair. Got 1 for 75 off 20. He was out bowled on this occasion by the Bowlers Union.
Happens. I've probably helped a lot to quite a few other bowlers, but yeah. It's not about us, Chris, is it? It's not about us, mate.
No. But yeah, there are little anecdotes, I suppose, anyway, from playing against him. Wholehearted, efficient, quicker than you think. Pretty much looks to bowl wobble seam, but can swing it. Always at you. And don't think he's not going to come off. If he bowls well, he will bowl all day. Which is
obviously this is a bowlers podcast, but I think if batters were next in and they'd seen him bowl for a while, they're thinking, all right, yeah, at least he's going to be off when I get in. Yeah, you can't. He doesn't work that way. He just keeps going.
No, and you know what? Actually, the one thing that allows you to do is it allows you, when you're bowling well, to cash in. When you're not bowling well, you can take your cap after 5 or 6 overs or whatever. If you're feeling mint, like he obviously does a lot of the time, yeah, go 7, go 8, go 9. Make hay, I suppose.
Go 15, Chris.
Hey, what a day that was! That's a podcast, a separate podcast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and we can get some video footage and just completely relive that.
I know you're going to ask me if there's one thing I could take away from Matt Henry.
Should we do one each?
Yeah, I'm going to give you mine now.
Yeah, you go first.
I don't feel this is a fair representation of him as a bowler, but his heart, he does not let up. He gives everything, every ball, it seems. It doesn't look as though it's hard work, like you said, but it looks as though he's committed in his run-up, his action, the output, every ball. And I don't think he gives batters much breathing space. I think that comes from his heart and how much effort he gives to the team when he's bowling.
I mean, yeah, that's number one, right? You can't argue with that. That's bang on. There's light absolutely pouring through the side of my window here into my eyes as I'm recording this. So mine, and I'd be interested to know what you think of this. So you know how people look at bowling actions and they'll say, "Oh, so and so has been coached too much" or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, he looks like someone who's been coached and has worked really hard to be efficient. But I like how aligned it is. It's like there's no nonsense with him at all. It's the run up is the optimum length. The alignment appears to be optimal. He pretty much keeps it simple and just bowls wobble seam, which I think it's fair to say that's quite an optimal strategy in terms of keeping things simple and getting guaranteed results. And he pretty much swings it if he wants to on the odd occasion, just to keep things fresh, keep the batsman honest. So for me, it's kind of that. There's just no nonsense. Everything is stripped away. There's no silly quirks in his action.
Yeah.
I think that's for me what, if you could coach a kid to bowl and you put, for example, I'm not saying you should do this, but let's just say you put some poles up or some cones out and you were like, run in athletically in a straight line through these, land a mid-crease and bowl straight. That's Matt Henry.
Yeah. Agree with you.
I think that's pretty sexy. I mean, not everyone will, but I think that's a pretty good way to go.
Yeah, totally agree with you, mate. He's another one for me up there. Just people, I don't think he gets the recognition he probably deserves from your day-to-day cricket fan.
Yeah, he actually, you know what? He might be the first name on my unfashionable elite cricketer team bowling unit. For as in someone who doesn't get hype, right? So you got your Bumrah, your Cummins, your Anderson,
yeah,
right? They're in that team. Matt Henry could be in the team below. He could be in do you know what I mean? And it could be Matt Henry, Mark Wood, and Mohammed Shami.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? Probably don't get enough flowers, but they're absolutely elite.
Yeah. That's fair play. That's a fair point. Anything else you want to discuss on it, mate?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to leave the Matt Henry love in there. Obviously, we're keen to get lots of comments. The last one of these we did on Scott Boland. I believe we had Scott Boland's dad drop a message in our comments and say that he was more skillful than we gave him credit for. So maybe we can preempt that and just say, Matt Henry's dad, we love Matt Henry. None of this is anything but complimentary, we promise. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, really happy with him there. I did want to mention our Patreon, though.
Yeah.
So obviously, there'll be a few episodes a week. This one will always be free, the one on a Thursday. But if you want more, if you're hanging for bowling content and you're a bit of a sicko and you can't get enough of me and Keith and maybe some other guests, we'll see how we structure it, then make sure you sign up on Patreon, and that is www.patreon.com patreon.com/the Bowlers Union, and then join us. And for a small sum of money, I think 1 or 2 coffees, I think £7 or something like that, you can get minimum 4 extra episodes from us every month, which to me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, with a bit more clear-cut, open conversations, I think. Speaking of that, which this is something I think we'll talk about on there, is I heard a rumour, and this is not guaranteed, but there's been all this chat of one of our favourite bowlers, Dan Worrell, being called up for England.
I saw a quick info article a while back.
Yeah, supposedly that's not really going to be happening, supposedly.
Oh.
There's rumours of Cook getting a call up. And I'd like to chat to you about that on our Patreon, because I want your honest opinion.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, maybe we can have like almost like a rumour mill or like a cricket gossip episode, where it's pretty down and dirty behind the scenes. Yeah, hidden away from public view. No journos are getting hold of this stuff. Only exclusive patrons.
One other question I've got for you, actually. It's an important night for you tonight. You said for one reason in particular, but another one is: are you confident of Arsenal going to Madrid away?
Oh well, there's a couple of things. The answer is I am confident that Arsenal will go and get the job done at the Bernabeu. I don't want to say I'm a typical Arsenal fan. I like to think I'm a little more measured than a typical Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I agree.
But like genuinely, you know what sport's like. Arsenal have had a pretty unlucky year in terms of injuries and quite a few refereeing decisions. I'm not saying Liverpool don't deserve to win the league. Ultimately, the team that wins the league deserves to win the league. However, I think we've had a lot go on, and I think if Arsenal had their fully fit team against Liverpool, we win. So I'm not surprised with what we did to Real Madrid.
I did see a comment from an Arsenal fan. They come out that Madrid are going to close the roof tonight for this game, and I saw an Arsenal fan saying, "That's fine. Rice cooks better with the lid on anyway."
Yeah, I mean it's one of those, isn't it? Did you watch last night's game at Villa Park? Did you see any of the clips of it?
I did not know.
Like the atmosphere looked insane. So I mean, what more do you want? If you're a player going into like enemy territory, you got to hold that 3-0 lead. Like imagine how far if you're Declan Rice and you're running around the midfield, that's going to be pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I got a wicket the other day. I don't know if we did talk about it. Did you notice my little homage to Mikel Merino?
Yeah, I think you need to change it. I'm being honest.
You weren't happy?
I think it could be better, Chris.
Yeah, that's probably fair enough. I'll give you that. But the real news, I know you've had some big news today, but the real big news potentially is my fantasy football. So I do a head-to-head version of that league, not just points. It's like literally every week you play against someone else and you just have to beat them and you get your 3 points. I've kind of gone all in on my badges this week. So I've used my bench boost, and I think that's my final badge. And I've done it in a bid to beat Sam Evans, who used to play at Leicestershire. And if I win, I'm pretty much safe of not having to buy dinner for everyone that's in the league. But if I lose, I'll be second from bottom and I won't have any chips or badges, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
So I'm under the pump, to be honest.
What happens if you win or lose?
If I lose...
if you lose the comp?
Bottom 2 take the 6 of us out for dinner.
Well, I like how you said the 6 of us, because that means you're confident that you're not going to be one of those.
Well, so last year, Louis Kimber lost. And I can't remember who else lost, but we ended up going out in Cardiff for a meal. Ed Barnes, again, another old Leicestershire, he drove from Headingley or Leeds, wherever he lives, to Cardiff just for this meal and a night out, just for a free meal. And obviously Kimber had some 100 cash sloshing around his pocket. So I think he was like 350 quid, 400 quid on the night. It was amazing. Went to Pastures in Cardiff, which is like, beef brisket or beef croquettes and then steaks and wine and all sorts. Amazing. Amazing evening.
Love it.
A little bit like Coal Shed, that kind of vibe.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I rate that.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Anyway, this is we're getting away with things here. But look, hope that was a great episode. I guess one final wrap up there is Matt Henry. What heart and keep it simple.
Yeah,
be efficient. Like, love him. If you haven't watched him, make sure you do. We'll leave it there then.
yeah.
Take it easy, everyone.
Cheers, guys. See you later.